let me see. Let's go here. Polls. Where is it? Create. Tag on it. I could definitely have created this. Discord. Nope. So it's down to the wire. Oh, come on. Single sign on. Continue. This one. How do I use it? I don't want to edit. I want to use it. Download to share. Shareable link, shorten URL. Copy. Create. Morehouse. Sorry guys, I'm trying to load this poll. Discard. You can use all the items. Search your poll. Paste. Surveys. Q&A. All right, let me. Where is this thing? You can use all items and surveys for this meeting. Where is it though? How do I use it? Look, I used the thing. Let me see if I do this. Chat. Guys, I'll be right with you. I'm trying to load this poll. Let me just make another one. Hopefully it won't take me too long. I made it earlier, but for whatever reason it's not loading. Create. Let me try something. Let's just go here. Go to the chat.
678.
Hello.
Greetings.
Good afternoon, sir. Could you
Pardon?
could you explain? I was wondering about the Zoom today.
It's you access it through Blackboard.
All right. I'm so sorry for the
You good? Let me. I'll text you an invitation link.
All right. Thank you so much.
So I guess in hindsight, I feel like probably should have included the link. Oh, come on. I'll wait for that. Okay. Let me think about what about Q&A? Is it there? Answer settings. No, that's you all, but that's fine. Okay. General multiple choice. What would you like to do? Can I edit this? All right, guys. This is something I created. It's like things kind of get moved around. I tried to use it earlier. Let me go back. And like for whatever reason, it's not there. or it's not behaving the way I would like. So I'm just going to make one here on the spot, and we'll have to work it out. Give me just a moment. We're going to call this attendance. Survey. Let's see. First question is. Okay. And this was yes. This no. Okay. I'll be right with you guys. I'm coming. The second question. What was my second question? Oh, okay. Remember now. And it was. Okay, that's fine. Here, come on. That's fine. Last one. Hopefully this works. If this doesn't work, I'll let it go. Reading. Like. Like this. That looks good. Let's hit save. Save as meeting poll. Okay, that's fine. Save. Okay. Yeah. So sorry about that delay, gentlemen. So this was something I created. I've been trying to figure out ways to do attendance, right? One group, it's a whole saga. Let me see right here, this one. I'm just gonna go ahead and launch it. And we're gonna work with that. I'm gonna let that ride. Okay. All right, so that's going. Let me make sure this is going. That looks good. Okay, I can see my chat. I can see my captions, so I know that's good. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about all that. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Start the broadcast. Optimize the video, and we'll start here. Okay, come on. There we go. All right. Oh. Technology, I tell you, it's doing what it do. All right. Sorry about that. A little bit of a delay, but not too terribly bad. Welcome. This is College Algebra 1 with Professor Phifer. Okay. So a few things. I'm kind of testing out ways of taking attendance, right? One group I was successfully able to do automatic attendance recording, but it required some extra steps that I really didn't like. So I requested to install an app so that it can do it automatically. It hasn't been approved yet, so that's why there was a delay, because I was like, okay, I was like trying to find some other way around it. So for right now, my way of around. Usually, what I used to do in the past for attendance was, I would have you guys wait in the waiting room, and I would take attendance one by one. Now, let me see if I go to Zoom for attendance. For right now, what I need you guys to do. There it is. There's a live poll. I don't want to switch. I just want to join. Yeah, join. Okay. So there's a live poll that's active right now in Zoom. So stay participant. Oh my God. Mute. There we go.
Okay. I'm joining right now. This is Cross, but my computer's still loading. I'm on my friend's computer in the library. I'm here though.
Yeah, you're good. So for attendance, there's a poll, right? Because obviously, I'm not gonna have everybody check in like that. So like, there should be a live poll that you can access. Just complete the poll, and that'll count for your attendance, right? And also, so I want you to know that these sessions are being recorded. and I'm live streaming them to my YouTube channel, right? So if you just wanted to do a hard search, if you're just joining us, so for right now, what we're going to do for attendance, there's a live poll. Right now, I plan to have it active. Where is it? How do you find it? There's a Q&A. I really want to try that Q&A. I see captions. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and turn on my captions. Okay, that seems to be working. Where is the poll? Polling in progress. How do you access it? Or yeah, polls or quizzes, right? So like I just checked it now. So just be sure to complete the poll, and we're going to use that for attendance, right? So I'll periodically try to remind you guys, but you should be able to access it. Like for instance, I'm working on an iPhone. When I open up my iPhone, at the bottom there are these lists of like options. If you kind of swipe on the bottom and it's to the far right, it's going to say more. When I click on more, then there's an option that says polls/quizzes. You click on polls/quizzes, and for right now, that's how we're going to take attendance. Like I said, I'm just exploring ways to do automatic attendance. Now, there is a way where we can do it where when you log in, it'll take it automatically, but I'm still trying to get that set up and work out those nuances, okay? So, with our precious time, this is College Algebra 1 with Professor Phifer, okay? Again, I'm Mr. Charles Phifer. You can call me Mr. Phifer, and my email is charles.phifer@morehouse.edu. Now, as you can see, while we were kind of live, I've already had students using this off a cell phone. So this is something new that I've started. I've realized that in the past, there were times where like students would have questions, and all of it has to happen is a quick phone conversation, and that will resolve a lot of issues. Versus the email, email is kind of like snail mail. I have to see the notification, then respond and this, that, and the other. So I've also like revamped my emails. So like, I would get like so many personal emails. I used to just kind of give up on emails. Like, I would encourage students to do it just for record keeping, but I would just ignore it, right? Being honest. So what I did now is like I suppressed my personal email notifications. I still get those emails, but I suppressed them so I'm not getting so many notifications. And so now the only notifications are basically from you all, from things concerning Morehouse. So if you ever need to reach me, you can use my Morehouse email. But then for a faster response, either text or call this off the cell phone. And what this is just like a Google Plus number or whatever, right? So it's just a free number. I'm doing my best to not have to change it. But if anything goes sideways, I'll just change it and get another one. It's not a big deal. And so you've got past the first hurdle of making your way into the Zoom, right? So again, if you're just joining us, be sure to complete the attendance poll or the attendance survey to get your attendance credit. I am recording these sessions, and it is being live streamed to my YouTube, and so I might end up using that to record attendance as well. But definitely do the poll. And so a little bit of background on me. So I'm an alum of Morehouse. I graduated from Morehouse with a Bachelor of Science in 2006 in mathematics. And then I got a Master's of Science in Applied Mathematics from Florida Institute of Technology in 2011, and that's as far as I've taken it. I just kind of stopped from there. So that's why it's Mr. Phifer and not Dr. Phifer. Let's see. And this is what College Algebra 1. So there's no lab component here. We meet on Monday and Wednesdays at 2 p.m. So I'm trying to structure it so that we're using this one personal meeting ID, the same one. So the same way you got in today, it should be the same way every day, right? I'm not trying not to create another PMI and all that other stuff. I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible, the same thing every time. At a minimum, what I need from you all, two main things that I'm going to be looking for throughout the semester. One is your regular attendance credit. So for today, we have the poll, right? So that's how we're doing that. And there's a Q&A. So, host has turned off Q&A. How do I turn it on? I want the Q&A on. Let me go here. Let me see if I can turn it on real quick. Settings. Let me try the settings. Where is it? Because I thought I had it on. Meeting topic done. How do I turn it on? Who can see your questions? Questions, my good. Okay. How do I turn that on? That would be so nice if I had it. I might have to log in another location. Captions, notes, apps. Oh, okay. Let me check here. Maybe I have it over here. So that was the Q&A was basically a new feature. I know said that was in Zoom. I checked it just now, said it's off. So I was like, let me see if I can turn it on. I'll check that momentarily. Lock, waiting room, Q&A, yes, on. Let me check some other place. Host tools, polls, Q&A. Open, no open. Everyone in the meeting can see. Oh, I guess I have to, participants can submit questions. Here it is. I'll do this for now. Just upvote and comment. Okay, cool. Cool, see? Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so anyway, I just turned on Q&A. I started slipping into some goofy video I saw, so that's why I was saying that. Yeah, because I remember it's something silly. But yeah, let me kind of finish this introduction. So, so again, yeah, I'm an alum of Morehouse. I got my master's in applied mathematics, and then also, so just some interesting things about me. I'm an anime buff. I'm a health. I wouldn't say nut, but I like to study it and practice it, or try. But I still be eating crap. But I still like to at least be aware of what's going on with the food as much as possible. I like movies, nature, hiking, physical fitness. You might catch me like a unicorn on the weekends, running across the city on long runs. So you might see me. So I've run into students like on the belt line. I'm always on the belt line. And then on my YouTube channel, if you're just doing a hard search for my YouTube channel or a soft search or whatever, I don't know what the proper term is, but you would search for Beautiful Mind Phifer and you can do it there. It's a basic channel. I'm not even really trying to grow it. I just use it to as a catalog of my interactions with students throughout the years. So you'll see, we're going to talk more about that before the presentation is out. We only got a solid 30 minutes, so we got to do the best we can. But then also on my YouTube channel, you'll also find, I kind of splice in some gaming content periodically. So I'm a gamer. That's the last thing I kind of wanted to bring to your attention. And so the 3 games that I play are Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and Survivor.io. So you'll periodically see those on my YouTube channel just to kind of shift up the energy. So while we were on the, kind of doing that presentation a moment ago, I think I enabled Q&A. So, feel free to use it. Yeah, to ask questions, in Zoom. So if you have questions, feel free to type it there. And in the chat, what I would like for each of you to do, because we're short on time, but I would like to get some information about each of you. So we can use the chat as an opportunity for you to introduce yourself. And so what I could use from each of you is one, your name, where you're from, or 1, your name, 2, where you're from, 3, your field of study, like your major or what are you studying, and then 4, something interesting about yourself, right? So anything that you would like people to know, right, about you, that you feel like is interesting, that the average person wouldn't know. So just feel free to put that in the chat, and I'll kind of be, I am monitoring the chat, so we can, I'll kind of peruse through that. So another recommendation is if any of you want to start it, I do recommend you all maybe do a group me and just somebody organize and you all work together. So this course is completely remote, right? So I don't really mind you guys working together on these assignments. Just do the best you can to learn as much on your own, but it's okay if you get help on stuff. Also, another good idea, if you're not going to work with your classmates or me, it's also a good idea to go ahead and try to seek out the tutors ASAP. And I know that the tutoring service is not set up. It's usually not set up this early, but it is a good idea to still go ahead and try to gather some information, maybe go by the math office and inquire about the tutoring, see how you can connect with them. And 9 times out of 10, I'm okay if you take all of this content and, sit down with the tutor and go line by line. I'm perfectly fine with that. As long as you're learning, you're growing, and you're getting your assignments completed, That's really what I'm looking for. So just your regular attendance. So be sure to do the attendance poll and then completing your assignments. Let me kind of glance at this. I see a lot of activity. So can I check it? Where is it? Still here we go. Getting used to these controls. So I'm going to do a quick scan. Mr. Minor, Plainfield. Oh, wait. Mr. Thomas from New Jersey. I see. Johnson, sophomore. What is that? Okay. Philly. Okay. Biology. Glee Club. Okay. Oh, I always believe I can sing until poli sci. Okay. Science. Computer science. Okay. Okay. Sports journalism. That's interesting. Oh man. I would like you to expand on that cooking business. Like what's a cooking business? Like a food truck or a vlog or what is it? Food review, like can't think of his name at the moment. Japan. Wow, Alaska. Oh my goodness. Yo, y'all need to expand on these. These are interesting. Engineering major. Okay. Okay, Ghana. Okay. Let me see what else we got. Black engineers. Okay. That's a throwback. Sociology. This is marketing. I'm just trying to get a sense of computer science. Okay. Okay, cool. Psychology. Nice. Okay. All right. So we got some heavy hitters. Heavy hitters in the house. Okay. Ooh. So yeah. Let me try to get to the meat and potatoes because our time is precious. So I want to say on my YouTube, you'll be able to find. So, like for instance, I had a session with my 9 o'clock class this morning. You can actually watch their recordings as well. Just as a reference, or just to kind of see what we're doing amongst the different courses. So this course meets on Monday and Wednesdays from 2 to 2:50, and it runs from today until December 13th. Right, so like 16 weeks or something like that, 16, 17 weeks. So you made your way into the Zoom. That's the first hurdle, right? So I think we got that going for the most part. And this one is about like my office hours for this semester. So it's going to be in the same Zoom link. So the same way you get in the class, it's going to be here. Okay, this one I have to check that later. It's basically Monday and Wednesdays from 10 to noon, just before this class. And again, my office cell phone and my office email. There are two types of people in this world: those that believe they can and those that believe they cannot. Both are correct. Which one are you? Right, by Henry Ford. Okay. So let me kind of get into the parts that's a little bit more crucial in my opinion. So I'm going to kind of show you how to access the homework. So let's hop over to Blackboard, right? So Blackboard, I'll go to the Morehouse portal. So this thing is weird. Like I turned off the audio on Zoom, but it won't let it go to 0. So it's totally distracting, but it's okay. Let's see. But I have it turned down. It's like low, but it's still distracting. And I think I am streaming. It looks like it's working. Just make sure. That's the poll. Streaming link. Okay, I think we're okay. I'm gonna let it be. Okay, so if we go to Blackboard, right, and go into our course on Blackboard. And I hope that like my speaker is not picking up that audio. Got my captions working. Let's go to courses. And and it's this one. So when we log into Blackboard, and if you're joining us if you're just joining us, or if you're joining us late, the way we're taking attendance right now, there should be a poll that you can find. It's going to say attendance survey. So be sure to complete that attendance survey to get your attendance credit. And I'll update attendance later today because I have back-to-back classes and it needs to be automatic attendance. I can't take time to take attendance like I did in the past, just because our time is so precious. So when we log into Blackboard, it looks like this, right? Now on this left-hand panel, you can find a copy of the syllabus. I think that's really the main thing on the left. And then, so we have this main link in the center, College Algebra 1. I'm going to click on that and open that up. So then, again, we found our way into the Zoom. So that's the first thing. This is almost like in reverse order, right? So let's kind of start at the bottom with the YouTube links. So that's one way that you can access my YouTube channel. If you click on the YouTube links, you should see one that says College Algebra 1. You click on that and it'll take you to a playlist. Basically, what I've done is I have a recording for every section for the entire semester available there for our course, right? So anything that I intend to say live is already in those recordings. So when you click on the link and it takes you to the playlist, it's a good idea to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on all your notifications. It's a shameless plug. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And like I said, I use it as a catalog of my interactions with students over the years. And also, it's important to have your all notifications turned on because, when students start asking questions about the homework, I'm going to be posting it on my YouTube channel, right? And so you don't necessarily have to watch all my videos. You just need to be aware of things that I'm posting. So then when you go through the homework, you'll be like, oh, I had a question about that. He made a video. He made a short about that. Right, let me go watch that video, right? So that I can minimize my redundancy, if that makes sense. So there's my YouTube link. So that's one way to get into my YouTube channel. Again, you could search Beautiful Mind Phifer as well. So then the next important link is this item number 3 that says all assignments Pearson My Math Lab, right? So feel free to go ahead and click on that now. And then follow the prompts and register as using your student credentials. So your Morehouse ID, your student name, things of that nature. Let me say this. So if you've used My Math Lab before and it's the exact same book, if you log in with the same credentials, then you should be able to gain full access. If this is your first time using My Math Lab and or this book, then you have to basically purchase new access. It runs. I'm under the impression that it costs about $120, give or take some amount. But you do have to purchase full access. Also, I know that sometimes students are using like book vouchers. If you're using a book voucher to purchase this, like if you from the Morehouse bookstore, you can purchase a My Math Lab access kit. What you need is the access code. You want to make sure you have an unused My Math Lab access code. If you are, the last thing that I would recommend is buying a book, the hard copy book. If you are buying a hard copy book, make sure it comes with an unused My Math Lab access code. Like, don't buy a used book that, because sometimes if you try to get it cheap, then the code will already be used and you'll be wasting your money. Then you got to deal with trying to get refunds and this and that. This, that, and the other. That's about the best I can do. But again, you do have to purchase full access to My Math Lab. Now, the trade-off is once you gain access, we use this book in My Math Lab for 3 different courses. We use it for College Algebra 1. I personally also use it for College Algebra 2. If you get the opportunity to take me for College Algebra 2, I also use this for College Algebra I was about to make up a course, College Algebra 3, which doesn't exist. We also use it for pre-calculus. All right, so I use My Math Lab with this specific book for 3 different courses. So potentially, you could do a one-time payment and use it for 3 different courses. And many professors use My Math Lab along with this text for those courses. All right. I do want to do a showcase on using My Math Lab. I just want you to see some things there. I know we're kind of short on time, so that's why I'm doing this, because this is like critical. So when I click on Pearson, mine looks like this. Yours might look a little different. Just again, follow the prompts, register using your Morehouse credentials. Eventually, once you gain full access, it'll look like this, something like this, right? And so what you see here, here's another way that you can gain access to my YouTube is that first item, week 1, my YouTube channel. So that's another thing that connects you with my YouTube. But what you see here is all homework and quizzes for the entire semester. Now, the items that are missing are the exams. All right. I think the exams are scheduled releases. Okay. I see someone started to group me. I think that's a great idea. And feel free to. I see the chat is active. You guys are good there, and feel free to use the Q&A if you have a question as well. So that way, that's a brand new feature, something I noticed when I was kind of getting set up today. So feel free to use that as well. I think the group me is a good idea. So take advantage of that, and each one teach one. The more the merrier. Together, everyone achieves more, right? So, no, that's a real thing. Like, yeah, you definitely want to. Because okay, let me say this. So, when it comes to college algebra, I feel like each individual concept in and of itself is simple. Like the concepts are simple by themselves, but the experience is not easy in that a lot of students experience information overload. It's a lot of information. It is. And the only way I know to kind of minimize that anxiety is planning ahead and being organized. You got to make a plan and take action, right? If you procrastinate, that just increases the anxiety. And then basically what happens is if you procrastinate too much and the anxiety gets overwhelming, then students tend to shut down and like they just kind of stop trying. But however possible, whenever possible, the better you can kind of plan, the less anxiety it seems like you'll have with it to a degree. Because I have this image of the movie Inside Out 2, where they had the scene where anxiety was taken over, and that movie was so powerful, man. I'm waiting for it to come out on Disney so I can watch it again and take notes. But they kind of had this part where they were making a distinction between fear and anxiety. And like fear seems like it was an emotional response to an actual present threat versus anxiety was an emotional response to a perceived threat, something in your mind. Like it's just like, oh, well, we got to plan for this and we got to do for this and this, and then she goes into this whirlwind. And it just I was like, man, they did such a good job at like personifying like a panic attack. I was like, Jesus, it was kind of surreal. But that's part of this journey of academia and just being human, honestly, just learning how to manage that and overcome it. And like, especially with all the heavy toxins in the food and the air and the water and the fluoride and this, that, and the other, and social media poison in our minds. I mean, like we're clearly being poisoned from like multiple angles. And so how do you like manage the effects of the slow poison without like seeming crazy, basically? Like if you try to talk about it or bring it to people's attention, it looks at you side eye, but there's like so many like, there's so many like tests you can do to show that this stuff is present. There's so much research that's been done to show how harmful some of these things are, how they're carcinogens, they cause cancer, and all the things that are allowed in American food that's banned in other countries. Like, how is it that these ingredients are banned in other countries, but it's allowed in America? Make that make sense. That doesn't make sense, right? So we need you guys to we need as many of us to survive all of this so you can get in positions and make changes to these regulations. That's not okay that these things are allowed in our country. That's not okay. You know what I mean? So that's like further down the line, right? Okay. So grouping up, working together, doing our best to kind of manage all this stuff. So the way this is structured is that it's really designed where it's really designed for you to be able to learn as much as you can on your own. With each of these sections, there's already a full recording available on my YouTube. So you can actually watch it in advance, take notes as if you're in class and write down your questions, and then you can ask your questions during class. You'll see the way I kind of structure things on a weekly basis. Generally what I do, I try to encourage you guys to do as much of this on your own. Mondays, I tend to do a live lecture. So I'll go through as much of the lecture as I can, and then whatever we can't do together, I pretty much defer you back to my recordings. And then on Wednesdays, I try to go through as much of the homework together as we can. And that's pretty much the format throughout the whole semester. So hopefully you guys are okay. I see a question, first question, so we're going to go ahead and pull it up. Let me see. Do the assignments allow retakes? Oh, that is a great question. Yes. I'm just gonna thumb it up and I'll do an audio response. Now, see, this is where it'd be nice if I had a TA to answer that. I really like that Q&A. Ooh, can I like how do I mark this as completed? Retakes. Nope. Retakes are allowed. Okay, so that's the short answer. Let me see. Did I clear it out? How can I mark this as completed? Okay, that's okay. My question. Okay, that's okay. I'm not gonna worry about that. Yeah. So the question was how many attempts do we get on the assignments? So I want to say that for our assignments, we have unlimited attempts on all assignments. Each assignment has a due date, but there's also an automatic extension built into all assignments, right? So like on the left-hand side, you can see the due date for the different assignments. And basically they're due like every week. But you can submit any assignment late, but if you submit an assignment late, there's a 5% late penalty. So if you submit it late, the highest you can earn is a 95%. Right. But which is, I think that's fair. That's reasonable. So what that means is honestly, you have all semester to get this in, but it's best to create some kind of schedule. It's best to avoid or minimize procrastination as much as possible. In other words, be proactive, not reactive. Right? Be proactive as best as you can. Right? Unlimited attempts. The system is set to take your highest score, and there's only a 5% late penalty. That includes exams. That's huge. Now, the exams, if you notice, the exams are not shown right now, right? But notice it goes week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and then it skips to week 6. I see another question. I am on my way there. So for instance, exam 1 is during week 5, right? After section 1.3. Exam 2 is during week 9 after section 1.6, so on and so on, right? Exam 3 is during week 13 after section 2.3, and then there's the final. But once the exams become available, you can earn up to 100% for that first week, and then after the due date, there's the 5% late penalty. But again, it's still unlimited attempts, and system is set to take your highest score. What materials would you recommend? Pens and pencils, etc. Notebook. So we are keeping this fully remote. I do recommend like you have some kind of a notebook where you keep a log of like your work. So you might have like a section for notes, right? Now, once we start taking notes, anything that you see me writing, I'm going to make it available for you, right? So and if I'm able to, what I really would like to do is make a copy of the notes available in advance, but it's blank. So that way you can, it's almost like a worksheet, and then you can fill it in either using my videos or you can fill it in during class when we're together. But I just haven't made that available yet. But once we do start taking the notes, anything that you see me writing, you're going to be able to access it. And let me show you real quick how to access it. I see we only got about 5 minutes remaining, so let me try to kind of focus a little bit right here. This one. Probably should have clicked here, but that's fine. So the other link, right? So we've talked about my YouTube, the homework. And so to access any PDFs that you see me writing, you can access it here in the second link that said, why does it keep doing this? There it is. That says PowerPoint lecture slides. So that's going to take you to Box, and that's where you can access notes once I start making them available. Let me try to focus for 5 minutes, but I'm glad we did the order that we did because those are the main things that you needed. If I can get this to work. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, anyway, I'm not gonna worry about it, but I can't get it to go for whatever reason. But yeah, YouTube links are at the bottom. all assignments Pearson My Math Lab. That's how you get into the homework and quizzes and exams, and then the PDFs. Let me hop back to the syllabus real quick because there are some other things there we need to at least touch on. We got about 5 minutes left. Okay, so the grading rationale for you all is just 10%. Quizzes count for 10%. The exams, there's 3 exams totaling 60% of your overall grade, and the final counts for 20%. And the grading rationale is like normal 90s or A's, 80s or B's, 70s or C's. Officially passing the course at Morehouse is earning a C. Anything below a C, including like C minus and D's, then a lot of programs will require you to take it again. I typically don't give C minuses, so it's either a C or D plus. So I do give D pluses though. So D pluses, you might have to take it again. Let me do a quick scan here. Textbook. Okay, so this the schedule is a little bit off here, but these are the sections that we intend to go throughout the semester. This is pretty much a snapshot of the entire semester. And each of these sections counts as like 1 week, right? So even though this is really week 1, we're going to start section 1.1 next week. So this is all offset by a week, right? So next week is 1.1. The week after that is 1.2. Week after that is 1.3, right? So one section per week. That's about the rhythm. And every time we do 3 sections, we're going to be taking an exam. Okay. Watching the clock. So the homework, we kind of talked about that. That was my math lab. Quizzes and exams are based on the homework. So idealistically, you want to try to finish the homework well in advance of the exams. But again, with the unlimited attempts, system is set to take your highest score and only a 5% late penalty. You can kind of work that a little bit as needed. Again, the makeup policy, all the assignments have an automatic extension built into them. Now, the hard deadline for all assignments is in December. I think it's Friday, December 13th. That's the hard deadline for all assignments. Here are some holidays that we need to note, right? So, for instance, Monday, September 2nd is Labor Day, so Morehouse is not going to meet. We have a fall break, Monday and Tuesday, October 7th and 8th. We're not going to meet. The last day to withdraw is Monday, October 28th, the Thanksgiving holiday, last day of class, and final exam week, right? So you have those there. I think this is a 2-credit course, right? So what that means is that we're allowed up to 2 unexcused absences. Once we hit that 3rd unexcused absence, then, we could potentially be booted from the course, this, that, and the other, right? Now, maybe I just do it as one long stream. I started to stop the stream. I'm trying to think if I want to do that or not. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. So the next part is disability services and accommodations. While I was doing the presentation just now, I got a couple of accommodation requests via my email. So if you need special accommodations, contact the SAS at Morehouse, and they'll forward your accommodations to me so that we can make sure you're accommodated. And then we have counseling services and the commitment to equity, inclusion, and belonging to Morehouse. You can read through that. And as far as AI is concerned, again, it doesn't really serve you. I mean, personally, I don't make a big deal about it, but you don't want to waste your time, right? If you're using these tools and other sources to do the stuff, you don't learn anything. Just because you're not in a proctored environment now doesn't mean you won't find yourself in a proctored environment. Idealistically, you want to learn as much as you can, because I cannot tell you how often this happens. Students graduate and they're like, I'm finally done with math. I never have to look at another math equation again. They go to apply for their first job, and the first thing they give them in that job is a math exam, right? And so then you would have wasted your time, right? And so it's like it won't serve you. So, do the best that you can, but it's okay if you ask for help and collaborate. I'm totally okay with it. Just do the best you can and try to learn as much as you can. Don't just not learn anything. I know that was a little bit weird. Let's see. So this last page, idealistically, I'd like you to fill it out. Let me see if I have that Dropbox available. Let's see. Because I know I had tried, but I don't think I got it set up yet. Okay, I don't know why this is behaving like that. Come on. This is this course. Let's see if the Dropbox is there. Did I make it available? What time is it? Got a couple of minutes. Come on. I got to figure that out. I know there's a way for you all to do it. I just haven't figured it out yet. So yeah, just for right now, just kind of keep that last page on file, and I'll have to figure out a Dropbox tool for you all. I have to get that set up. Let me check the Q&A. Let's get rid of this extra stuff. Okay. So, we're kind of right at the close of time. Sorry for the delay earlier. So I think we answered both of these questions. Yeah, and so like with the materials, a notebook where you can organize this information. If you're able to organize things digitally, that's fine. Either whether you decide to organize it digitally or like in a notebook, either one is fine. The idea is that you want to have a copy of the notes, neat and organized and labeled, easy to kind of sift through. You want to have a copy of any homework that you've done. So like what section, a copy of the original question, any supporting work for that question, and then your final answer in a box. And so it really only serves you if you create it yourself. Like if you're borrowing somebody else's notes and you get on the exam, then you're just gonna be sitting there flipping back and forth, and then it's just becoming a research thing, which is like it's no good. It's just a waste of the time and energy. But if you take the time beforehand, before the exam comes, and you're creating this like manuscript yourself, has a copy of the notes, has a copy of your homework questions and things of that nature, and like any other supporting documents, then that's going to serve you the best. The learning comes in creating this document yourself. You can create it, you can organize it digitally, or you can organize it manually, like on paper and pencil. So it's basically whatever's your prerogative. Let me check the chat real quick. There's a group me there. Okay, I think that's a good idea. Are there any other burning questions before we go our separate ways? Going once. If you joined us late, be sure to do the poll to get your attendance credit. And if there aren't any burning questions, we're going to go ahead and end the session here. And from one beautiful mind to another, enjoy the rest of your day. Be sure to go ahead and gain access to Pearson, and we'll meet back on Monday, same time, same place. Take care, guys. Peace. Okay, I see another question. Just hold on to it for now. You don't have to necessarily submit the syllabus. Just hold on to it for now. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try to let this run. Yeah. I'm gonna try to let it run. Oh. Did I get them out of the chat? I think so. Yeah, I think we're okay. Right. So I think I'm gonna just state one and just try to let it be one thing. It'd be nice if I can clear these out. What if I can do it here? Q&A. Okay. I see. Nice. Cool. Okay, I got that working. Chat is okay. We kind of went through all of this. So, Mr. Johnson or Mr. Soa, are you in the 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock course?
2 o'clock course.
2 o'clock.
Yeah, we're done. So,
Okay.
yep,
Bye, sir. Have a good day.
you as well.
Thank you.
So, Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes starting now.
And so, I guess I'll just let it be one long stream for the 3. Maybe that might be a little bit easier for me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh. We're gonna try this out.
ナルトクロスボルト忍者ボルテージ。
Let me actually do it here. Siri, stop. All right, gentlemen. We got about a minute, another minute to go. So just gonna give it a little bit of time. Give people a chance to get in here. 30 seconds. Oh, wait. Is my thing? Yeah. We're good. All right. So I have that it is that time. So welcome. This is College Algebra 1 with Professor Phifer. So let me see some housekeeping items. So the way we're going to do attendance, I'm doing my best to try to do automatic attendance recording, but it doesn't really seem like it's working all the way. So inside of Zoom, you should see a poll that says like attendance survey. Just be sure to complete the attendance survey, and that's how we'll do attendance credit. All right, so just be sure to complete that. And then also, as we kind of go through the presentations, inside of Zoom, there's something that says Q&A. So if you have questions about anything, feel free to like put the questions there or put it in the chat. I'm monitoring the chat and you guys' reactions and the Q&A and stuff of that nature. So be sure to do those items. So again, this is College Algebra 1. Welcome, gentlemen, if you're just joining us. So welcome. There is an attendance survey inside of Zoom, so be sure to complete that. But for right now, that's how we're going to do attendance. So be sure to complete the attendance survey. That's how we're going to take attendance. This is College Algebra 1 with Professor Phifer. So again, I'm Mr. Charles Phifer. And here's my email, first name, last name at morehouse.edu. And so something new I've kind of started is an office cell phone number. And so with that cell phone number, you can text it or call it if you have questions or if you like need help with anything. I encourage students to email me, but email is kind of like a slower response. You know, I've kind of revamped my whole email thing to be a little bit faster with those responses. But for the fastest response, either text or call my office cell phone. And basically what it is like a Google number. Mr. Haynes, you okay? Did you have a question?
No, thank you.
You good? Okay. How do I? Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's fine. Okay, that's the chat. Oh, interesting. Okay. So yeah, you can text or call that number anytime. If I'm available, I'll answer. If I can respond quickly or promptly, I will. I do see one question. Let's see. Okay, is late work accepted? Yes. So let me go like this. Right here. Answer live. So the simple answer is yes, late work is accepted. So this course being fully remote, we're going to be using an online learning management tool called Pearson My Lab and Master. We'll go more into those details. But with the way I have it set up, we get unlimited attempts on all assignments. The system is set to take the highest score, and there's an automatic extension built into all assignments. All right. So once we open it up and you're able to see the due dates for the assignments, you can actually submit any and all assignments late, and there's only a 5% late penalty. But the thing that you do have to kind of be aware of, the hard deadline is all the way at the end of the semester, which is like that Friday, December 13th, the last day of class. But leading up to that, again, the assignments have due dates. If you submit anything late, the highest you can earn is at 95%. And let's kind of do some introductions a bit. So again, I'm Mr. Phifer. I'm an alum of Morehouse. I graduated from Morehouse with a Bachelor's of Science in Mathematics in 2006. I earned, is that right? Yeah. I earned a Master's in Applied Mathematics from Florida Institute of Technology in 2011, and that's the extent. So, so I'm not a doctor, just Mr. Phifer. And then just some interesting things about me is like I like anime, movies, healthy lifestyle, like eating clean, and just I don't necessarily eat 100% clean, but I like to be aware of like clean food. And I'm low key a content creator, but I'm not really trying to expand. I have a YouTube channel where I catalog my interactions with the students over the years. So you'll find like full lectures, answer to homework questions, and things of that nature. And you'll be able to see interactions with my students from this semester as well. So if you're just doing a hard search or soft search, if you're just searching for my YouTube, you can do a search for Beautiful Mind Phifer. And again, it's a basic channel, just a collection of my interactions. Also, you'll find a few Easter eggs on there as well in the form of like some of my gaming content. So I'm also a gamer, a little bit. I've done like maybe one live stream, but I really haven't started doing all of that. But it's fun. I mean, I'm always gaming, so I know I need to start streaming. The 3 games that I play are Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, Survivor.io, and Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Right, so it's a 5-on-5 battle royale. Welcome. I see we got some newcomers. So if you're just joining us, be sure that you're completing the attendance survey. It's a poll that's in Zoom. And so that's how we're going to log attendance. So just be sure that you're completing that. And if you have questions, feel free to use the Q&A in Zoom as well. I'm monitoring the chats, the Q&A, and things of that nature. And also, I want you to be aware that these sessions are being recorded and live streamed to my YouTube channel. Okay, my YouTube channel again is Beautiful Mind Phifer, and it's a good idea once you find my YouTube channel to go ahead and subscribe and turn on all notifications. It's a shameless plug. It's free to you guys, but it's a communication tool that I use to communicate with all of my students throughout time, right? Okay. So you see my office cell phone number there, so feel free to call or text as needed. This course or this class meets on Monday and Wednesdays from 3 to 3:50. Okay. And this course also has a lab component. There's also a lab component with it. So the lab is run by my colleague, Dr. Lamar, and the lab is called Alex, right? So I don't know what the acronym is for, but I like the concept behind Alex. Is basically what it is. You take a placement exam in that, and it identifies like areas or concepts that each of you might be deficient in, and it creates a customized curriculum for each of you, right? So Dr. Lamar has all the details on the lab. The lab component counts as 10% of our overall grade, right? Whatever we do together as far as homework, quizzes, and exam, this is going to account for 90% of your overall grade, okay? If at any time during the presentation, if you have questions or anything, feel free to either unmute yourself or use the Q&A to get my attention. Again, I am monitoring it, and I'm monitoring the chat and all of that, so just, feel free to put it there. Also, I would like to take an opportunity for you all to like introduce yourselves. I'd like to get, I want on some level to get a sense of like who you guys are. So in the chat, feel free I need each of you to like introduce yourself. So like you can include your name, where you're from, what are you studying, and something interesting about yourself, right? So again, just for introductions in the chat, just each of you, just like in one little text bubble or whatever, like your name, where you're from, what are you studying, and something interesting about yourself, okay? And I'll just kind of be monitoring that and looking for it. It just gives me a sense of like who's in my audience and like, business major, engineering, pre-med, stuff like that, okay? And so this course runs from today until Friday, December 13th. Okay, so those are the times for the course. Biology major, okay. Okay, I see you. Welcome. I had a student earlier. I didn't get a chance to ask him. He said his last name was McLaughlin. I was like, man, I had a professor whose name was McLaughlin. I meant to ask him if he had any relatives that taught here in the past. And that professor was kind of interesting. He ended up taking us to like a restaurant, like as a group, kind of towards the end of the semester. It was interesting, in Virginia Highland area. Okay, wow, 2 schools, okay. Hopefully you were able to find some money, because I know how this stuff goes. But yeah. Let me see what else. Haynes, okay. Business admin, okay. All right, so I'll let you guys kind of keep working that. Welcome. So let's see. My office hours are Monday and Wednesdays from 10 to noon. In the same room. So the same way you got in the class, this is where I'm going to hold office hours. There are two types of people in this world: those that believe they can and those that believe they cannot. Both are correct. And which one are you? Mr. Jones. Computer science, okay. Savannah, okay. Okay. That's right. Yeah. Be the change that you want to see. I resonate with that. So, like in my personal journey, I've realized that for multiple people, they were like, complain. I guess I've gotten really good at complaining. And I used to kind of beat myself up about it. And I guess I still do on some levels. But then I realized, I was like, okay, if I'm complaining about something, I think I complain so much, I don't even realize that I'm complaining. But once I realize that I'm complaining about something, I realize that, like, okay, one, realize, if you can catch that. And then two, if something is like catching my attention like that, then more than likely I need to be the one to take action and do something about it, right? So be the changes you want to see. If something is irking me and there's something that I can do about it, I have to take action. Because like, as long as I'm expecting somebody else to fix it, it's not gonna get done, right? It's just not gonna get fixed. Like, they may or may not, but more than likely it's not gonna get fixed. So if it really bothers me, I've realized that with the complaining, that's just an alert, an energetic alert saying, hey, you might want to take some time and put that thing in order. Otherwise, it's not going to get fixed, right? So that's how I've spun that complaining energy into something that's more constructive as best I can, right? So that's alchemy energy. So our time is precious. Let's hop over. I want to kind of get into the meat and potatoes of what we need here. Go to class. Let's see. Let me reply. As a matter of fact, let me get rid of this. Where is it? Participants, invite. Copy the link. Apply. Paste. And send. All right, that's fine. Yeah, I tried to send the link before class because I've had a lot of students. It's like, whatever link they're using, it might be something in the syllabus or whatnot wasn't working, and they're not seeing the link. So I was just anyway. Okay, so this is what, the 3 p.m. I think that's this course. All right, so the meat and potatoes, right? So when we log into Blackboard, it should look something like this, like what you see on your screen now. So if we open up the main folder, now the syllabus is on the left-hand panel, where it should be there anyway, where it says syllabus. But if we click on this College Algebra 1 with Online Lab, we open up this main folder. So these are our important links, all right? So, the Zoom, we were able to get into Zoom here using this information here. And let's kind of work backwards. Yeah, it keeps doing this. I don't know why, but that's fine. Now we got it working. So if we start with item number 4, my YouTube links, this is another way to kind of access my YouTube. So you click on that, and it should be like for College Algebra 1. And you can find there, you'll be able to find a pre-recorded lecture for each section for the entire semester, right? So the way this course is designed is really designed where most of the learning is done on your own. Like you can do all the learning on your own. And so you can use like my YouTube links, and those basically that's anything that, if I would say live, like if we were doing a live lecture, that's the full live lecture for each section. When we're together, we'll do whatever we can together, but whatever we don't finish together, I expect you to use my recordings in my YouTube channel, right? And again, if you're just joining us, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube and turn on all notifications, and then once the semester's over, either leave it and turn off your notifications or just ignore it. I know that YouTube has been changing their like algorithm and kind of unsubscribing people automatically, but it's okay. So then the next important link is item number 3 that says all assignments Pearson My Math Lab. So that's where we're going to have our homework, quizzes, and exams. All right. So when you click on that link number 3, Just follow the prompts and register using your Morehouse credentials. So now there's a couple of things here. You do have to purchase full access. It costs about $120, give or take. Now let me say this though. If you have used My Math Lab before and it's the exact same book, if you log in with those same credentials, then you shouldn't have to purchase access again, right? But with this being College Algebra 1, I would imagine that most of you, this will be your first time. And so you'd have to create a new account. And then the other thing is, when you're prompted for payment, if you have to use, like my recommendation is just to buy access directly from Pearson. If you have to use a book voucher, or if you're trying to use some other source, then that kind of muddies the water a little bit. But if you can buy it directly from Pearson, like on this link, and just follow the prompts and just buy it directly from there, that's the best thing. Now, if you have to use a book voucher, if you're using a book voucher, make sure you're purchasing a My Math Lab access code, right? You have to purchase the My Math Lab access code. And so that'll give you full access. Now, if you decide to buy a hard copy book, which is the least recommended or my last recommendation, if you're buying a hard copy book, make sure it comes with an unused My Math Lab access code, right? So you got to be careful there. All right, welcome. If you're just joining us, so the way we're doing attendance, there's a poll inside of Zoom. So just complete the attendance survey poll, and that's how we're doing attendance. And we might do that, all the way until the end, every day. So just go ahead and kind of get used to that. So be sure to complete the attendance survey poll. As far as attendance goes, this is a 2-credit course, right? So that means we're allowed up to 2 unexcused absences. Once we hit 3 or more unexcused absences, we could potentially be dropped from the course. And then once we're booted, then we may or may not get a refund. More than likely, you won't get a refund because Morehouse is a business, and that's just how they do things. So you don't really want to be in that boat. The main things, the minimum that I need from you guys is just show up, right? If you zen out, it's okay. I don't make a big deal. As long as you're present, that's at a minimum what I need. And then the other thing is just be sure you're submitting your assignments promptly on a regular basis. So now, when I first started teaching remote, I used to kind of hound the students, hey, are you paying attention, this, that, the other? Come on, guys, ask the question. Yeah, that was too much. I was like, I can't do this. So I kind of have locked in my mind like it's a flow, and I just kind of keep going. I'll stop if you guys have questions, but I don't hound you guys to questions. I'll ask you questions, I'll pause for a moment or two, and if nobody answers, I'll just keep moving. So if you just decide to zen out in class, I'm not going to make a big deal about that. But what's not okay is to be unexcused or to show up for 5 minutes and then leave, because I'll notice it, and then if I start marking you absent, it can mess stuff up. The best thing is just get here and zen out. If you have questions, feel free to either use the Q&A or unmute yourself to get my attention, and we can talk about it. And I think we also did introductions in the chat. So the introductions were, first name or your name, where you're from, what are you studying, and something interesting about yourself. Okay. So I also would like to do a quick demo of My Math Lab, right? So let me go ahead and open this. Change resume. Open Pearson. So once you get, see, we got another newcomer. So welcome. If you are just joining us, be sure to complete the attendance survey. That's how we're going to be taking attendance. You can find it in Zoom. So just in one of those little toolbars, you can find something that says attendance. It'll say poll attendance survey. So be sure to complete that. Go ahead, Mr. Sanders, if you have a question.
Oh no, sorry, I didn't have a question. Sorry.
You're good. Okay. So once you gain access to My Math Lab, it'll look like this. All right. So, and here's a second or third way you can access my YouTube is that first item orientation, Professor Phifer's YouTube channel. So that'll also link you to my YouTube. Again, it's a good idea to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube and turn on all notifications. This is just how I communicate with my current students. And I also have other Easter eggs in there with gaming content and other stuff. So, this is an interesting, I want to dive more into that whole topic, but because it's a lot that we can talk about there. It's just interesting things, but I'm going to put a pin in it for now. And so what you'll see here, what you see on the screen, basically what this is, these are all homework and quizzes for the entire semester. You can access all homework and quizzes right now and finish them for credit. The only thing that's not available on My Math Lab right now that has a scheduled release are the exams. So this is a total of 3 exams, right? So for instance, you'll see where it says week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and then it skips to week 6. All right. So what that means is that week 5 is when you can anticipate exam 1 over the first 3 sections. And then I think week 9, you can anticipate exam 2 over the next set of 3 sections, so on and so on. Okay. With these assignments on My Math Lab, we get unlimited attempts. The system is set to take your highest score. And there's an automatic extension built into all assignments. All right. So even though the due dates are on the left, if we submit any assignment late, there's a 5% late penalty. In other words, if we submit any assignment late, the highest we can earn is at 95%. Okay. The hard deadline for all assignments is December, the last day of class, like December 13th is Friday, December 13th, right? That's the hard deadline for all assignments. Because beyond that, I have to calculate final grades and this, that, and the other. Okay. So hopefully we're all aboard, and we're not all aboard. Again, if you have questions, feel free to either unmute yourself to get my attention or type it in the Q&A. There's a Q&A, so I am monitoring that. I am also monitoring the chat. And also, if you joined us late, we did introductions with our name, where we're from, our major, or like what are we studying, and something interesting about ourselves. Right? And I kind of use it to get a sense of my audience, and so I can, Okay. So we talked about the attendance survey and the importance there. We kind of
Hello. Sorry, I joined late. I apologize for the intrusion.
Pearson, my math lab, right here. Nope. Are you good? You're totally good. It's no worries. I acknowledge that this is we just kind of getting used to everything and getting everything set up, so it's it's totally okay. Okay, let me see if there are any other important things here. Okay. And so again, we talked about my YouTube, we talked about Pearson and how to access it and the homework and stuff and the cost. And then the last important link, once we start taking notes and you see me writing things, I'm going to post a copy of notes and things here in this item number 2, daily PowerPoint lecture slides box link. So PDFs and things of that nature, handouts, I'm going to put things there. I would like a Dropbox. How do I do the turn it in? Let me see. Grade Center. Let me see if I can do this quickly. If I build content. Yeah, I don't know how to do the content folder. I got to figure out how to. I want to create a Dropbox for you all to be able to share files here. You might be able to put them directly in the box. I'm not sure. I had to work on that a little bit later, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. Okay, so let's hop back over to the syllabus. Now, for you, I think this is the fastest I've got through this with any of my students all day. All the others, for whatever reason, they kept like lagging and delaying and just kind of dusting off the cobwebs. Okay, yeah, so we need to talk about this. So this section of College Algebra has a lab component. The lab is, I think we mentioned it earlier, but I'm gonna just say it again because I know we had other people show up. So the lab is Alex, and it's run by my colleague, Dr. Lamar. So her contact information, if we go back to Blackboard, speaking of Back to Black, did you all get a chance to see Amy Winehouse, that movie? Oh, they did a good job, in my opinion, with that. I really enjoyed that movie. I mean, it was really tragic, what happened to her, but it provided some context of what was going on. So if you have questions about the lab, you can access it here. So on the left where it says Alex Lab syllabus sign up and all of that. And that's organized by my colleague, Dr. Lamar. So any questions with the lab, you would direct it to her and she can answer. The lab component counts for 10% of our overall 90%, right? And so for the 90% is, I'm going to use these purple items for us. So our homework counts for 10%, the quizzes count for 10%, the 3 exams count for a total of 60%, and the final is 20%. So that's how I would calculate the grade. Like normal, whatever score you get there, I'm going to scale it so that it counts for 90% of your overall grade. And then for the lab, whatever score Dr. Lamar gives me for each of you for the lab, I'm going to scale that to 10% of your overall grade. Okay, so hopefully we're all aboard, or we're not all aboard. Again, if you have questions, feel free to either use the Q&A or type in the chat. And also, if you're joining us, be sure that you complete the attendance survey, right? That's critical. Be sure to complete the attendance survey. I should have added that. Maybe I'll add that next time. Okay. So this is a 2-credit course, so we're allowed up to 2 unexcused absences. Let's see if there's anything critical here. We're a little bit early. Okay. So then this part here, this is a pretty good like summary of what we're going to be doing for the entire semester, right? And so you have each section that we're going to do. I think it's like, let me see, there's 6, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. So it's a total of 11 sections throughout the semester that we're going to be working on. Now, you know, and basically the rhythm is about 1 section every week. Like this week is just introduction. So really idealistically, we're going to start working on section 1.1 next week. Now you don't have to wait on me. If you go to my YouTube and to click on either of those links to access my YouTube, and it'll put you into the College Algebra 1 playlist, there's a full lecture for each of these sections already available right now. And anything that I intend to say live is already in those recordings. So if you were to watch those recordings, I know what some students will kind of put the recordings on like ×2 speed. So it's like, you know, sounds like a tape recorder going a little fast, but they can hear the things that they need to hear and take notes and just adjust the speed as needed. And so that way you can get through more information in less time. But yeah, if you are able to get ahead, as far ahead as possible, that's my recommendation. If you can finish all of this, like, I don't think I've ever had anybody actually do that, but if you could finish it early, then you would just be waiting on the exams, right? And be sure to get your attendance credit. Yeah, so this week is orientation. 1.1 is next week. You can use my recordings to get ahead. You know, that's what's recommended, is try to get ahead. You know, if you wait until we do it together, then, you know, what tends to happen is like, okay, a lot of times students just kind of show up to class. And when we do it together, that's the first time hearing it. And then they trying to play catch up. Versus if you kind of watch this stuff before class, and then when you get, idealistically, you want that when we work on it together, you want it to be a review. I am starting to lose my voice. I've been talking like all day. Okay. Let's see. So I think we talked about the homework. Again, that's my math lab. You already have access to all homework and quizzes for the entire semester. You're really just waiting on the exams. So you have access. You can get ahead using my recordings on my YouTube channel. There's going to be a total of 3 exams and a comprehensive final. So it's like exam 1, exam 2, exam 3, and the final. There's not a separate midterm. The midterm is just, I'm just going to calculate the midterm grade based on whatever's been due at that moment in time. So like if we've only completed exam 1 and some homework, I'm going to base it on that. There's not like a midterm exam. There's just going to be an exam 2. Right, but I think our exam 2 surfaces after the midterm. So it's really the midterm grade more than likely is going to be based on exam 1 with the corresponding homework and quizzes. Okay, sorry. Yeah, and I'm getting older too, so it's like usually, like I think in the summer, like about this time of day, I'll be napping, like I'll be sleeping hard in the middle of the day. I'm like, yo, what is going on? You know, so now I have to like shift gears, you know, because we're meeting. So, but it's okay. So we talked about the exams, and again with the makeup policy, all of our assignments have an inherent extension already built into them, right? It's an automatic extension built, so you don't have to request it. Just know that if you're submitting an assignment late, the highest you can earn is a 95%. So then we have our holidays. So this is an important slide. For instance, there's a Labor Day holiday, Monday, September 2nd. So now, okay, I see a question. I'll pull up the question in just a moment. I want to mention something about this Labor Day holiday. So recently, like I'm always kind of exploring. I'm born and raised in Atlanta, right? And I don't know. I just, like I said, I've been kind of exploring the city on foot. And the other day, I was in Piedmont Park. I was walking through the park, and I was like, I saw the pool, and I was like, someone was like, just go investigate, And so I go to check out, and I was like, can I just get information on the pool? They were like, yeah, Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 is free swim and this, that, and the other. I was like, what? I mean, I think Morehouse has a pool. I don't know if it's open or not, but there's a free pool at Piedmont Park. It's free swim from 3 to 5, Monday through Friday. I think on the weekends it might be like $5, for whatever the time is. But the reason I'm bringing it up because that program ends on Labor Day, right? So I think it's only available for like one more week. So I mean, it's a free pool, like I said, I think I know Morehouse has a pool. I don't know if it's open. I haven't tried to access it in like a minute. But yeah. So, but for the Labor Day holiday, the school is going to be closed. Let me check these questions. Let me see. Just to make sure, we have to pay for the Pearson. Yeah, you have to purchase access. It costs. I'm under the impression it costs about $120. So yeah. And let me see. I joined late. I'm sorry. But how can we access Pearson? Okay. So to access Pearson is through Blackboard. Okay. Let's kind of let me hop over there. I'll mark these as completed. Answer live. Nice. I like this Q&A. This is my first time using this. Like, it's a lot of features that I'm just trying out. I think I answered that. I think we're good there. So for Pearson, right? So if we go to Blackboard, I'm going to the portal, and if I can get this to behave right here. So when we log into our course, it looks something like this, right? So then this is our landing page for Blackboard. If we open this up and our assignments, if it decides to behave, man, this thing is so trippy. Let me just, no, let's close this out and start over. This course right here. Yeah, my energy is fading. Okay, right there, right? So item number 3 that says all assignments Pearson My Math Lab. That's how we're going to access our homework quizzes and exams. It's right there. So you click on the link, you register using your Morehouse credentials. So use your student name. Because if you use a nickname or anything like that, I'm not going to know who you are. Right? If you use a personal email, I'm not going to know who you are. So you want to use your Morehouse email and your student name, right? So that way I can make sure that you get your credit. Okay. Yeah, we talked about that. Okay. So then the fall break is this Morehouse is closed as well. Is Monday and Tuesday, October 7th and 8th. Withdrawal policy, the last day to withdraw from the course is Monday, October 28th. Thanksgiving holiday, it's pretty much that Wednesday, November 27th through Friday, November 29th. Morehouse closes at noon, so this course would not meet on that Wednesday. So pretty much that Wednesday through that Friday. We're going to meet that Monday, but not that Wednesday. Last day of class is Wednesday, December 4th. And the final exam week is, I think that's like the second week of December 9th to 13th. Okay. And again, with this being a 2-credit course, we're allowed up to 2 unexcused absences. It's 333. Once we hit 3 unexcused absences, then again, we could be potentially dropped from the course. It could affect our money. We may or may not be able to get back in, and more than likely, they're not going to give you a refund. So that would be money wasted. You want to avoid that. Again, the simple thing is just try to show up about 5 minutes early, because I have another class right before you all. So not too early, but maybe like 5 minutes or so early. And then if you zen out, I'm not going to make a big deal about that. But as long as you're in the call, I know that you're alive, you're present, and you're submitting your assignments promptly, those are the 2 items that I need at a minimum: the assignments with attendance. If you need any kind of accommodations, you can email SAS at Morehouse. I think that's the Student Counseling and Student Accessibility Services Center. That's a lot of S's. Student Counseling and Student Accessibility Services Center. I feel like I'm saying a tongue twister, but yeah, they'll just contact them and they'll discreetly email me a letter on your behalf so that we can make sure that you're accommodated. Okay. And then the commitment to equity, inclusion, and belonging at Morehouse. At Morehouse College, we cultivate equitable policies and inclusive practices, which lead to a sense of belonging for all. We champion equity, inclusion, and belonging as essential qualities of the college for building and advising an empathetic and respectful campus that fosters pathways to individual and collective successes. From people's daily experiences to operational decisions, equity, inclusion, and belonging at Morehouse College must be infused throughout the college's decisions and operations. So that's just a statement on equity, inclusion, and belonging. So, each one teach one, yada, yada, yada. Counseling services, you see information there. So there's a number you can call or you can email counseling at Morehouse. And again, I think I mentioned this earlier, like alluding to the whole just managing like anxiety and stuff like of that nature. Personally, I feel like with this atmosphere, the anxiety is reduced the more we can kind of plan ahead, but within reason. Some other things we can do to kind of like manage the anxiety. Again, minimizing procrastination helps. Eating a certain way, I don't know how many of you all, this is your first time away from home, but there's a thing called the freshman 20. I think mine may have been the freshman 50, but it's like where you tend to gain weight as a freshman in college because of the cafeteria's buffet, all this other kind of stuff. So trying to eat clean, like just being aware of like toxins that may be in the food. Those toxins make you anxious, whether we acknowledge it or not. And you have to do research and study and things of that nature. I'm no nutritionist. You have to talk to a professional on that, but there is evidence that eating a certain way helps manage this stuff. Routine exercise, right? I've already mentioned the thing about swimming, play, getting plenty of rest, things of that nature. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this for you all or not, but it is a good idea to have a group meet. I do encourage it. So I'm not sure if I said it or not, but I'm just saying it again now. A group meet where you guys are working together. I usually try to suggest that to all of my students. So if somebody in the chat wanted to start a group meet, I think it's a great idea. And then also another good idea is to go ahead and seek out information on the tutoring services. Now, I'm pretty sure it's not established right this second, but if you can at least go ahead and find out, okay, how do you connect with the tutors once they are available? The more information you can find on the tutors now, the better. So these things all help with like managing this stuff. So hopefully we're all aboard again. If you have questions, we got about 10 minutes or so. So again, if you have questions, feel free to use the Q&A or unmute yourself if you have questions. We're going to kind of forge on ahead. So then this statement on restricting artificial intelligence. Now, let me kind of give my own personal spiel on it. I personally don't make too big a deal about it. This is a remote course. There is a change to the structure that the school could make if they were really concerned with this. Like, even though it's remote, I think we could implement a testing center, right? But it just hasn't really been brought up or hasn't been set up. So the testing is like, on your own. You have to be forewarned about, having integrity. Like, for instance, if you're not the one doing this, if you're not learning anything, you might get through the course, but you're going to be wasting your time and money. Because if you don't learn anything, inevitably, you're going to find yourself in a proctored environment where all you're going to have is paper, pencil, and maybe like a scientific calculator, and you're going to be responsible for this stuff. A lot of times it comes out when students go for their first job interview. It comes out in other places as well. For our purposes, you're kind of on your own, so you know you can kind of work that however you see fit. But do your best to try to learn as much as you can, right? But if you don't learn anything, you know, then you're really wasting your time and money. Like if you get a grade, but if you don't learn anything, it's a waste of time and money. Let's see what this says. And then also another thing is like, and this happened recent, like in the past year, where it surfaced that somebody cheated. Like for instance, I think it was the president of Harvard, and I think it surfaced that she plagiarized on her dissertation, i.e., she cheated on her dissertation. So I think Harvard had like a zero tolerance for plagiarism. So she was fired. I mean, she was like the president of the school, and she was released. Now, another part of that story that was so wild though, the person that outed her, the person that like caught her or whatever, that took her place. So this person caught the president plagiarizing in their dissertation, exposed them. The president got fired. This person that exposed the president took their place. Then it surfaced that that person cheated as well. I was like, are you serious? Like this got to be something out of a movie. Now I'm not sure if that person was removed from office from that position as well, but you know they stand to not be able to hold that office either. So it's just not worth it. It might serve you in the short run, but it's going to be like this looming thing in the long run. There's no way to live, right? And it's not really necessary for the way we have this structure. Do your best and do the best you can on your own, but then if you need help, just ask for it. Like it's totally okay. You can ask me, you can collaborate, it's going to be okay. But at a minimum, just do your best to learn as much as you can, right? So let's see what this says. We're going to hang out for about another 5 minutes. This supports no generative, I can't get my words out, AI usage in this course. All students will submit their work without the use of or input of generative artificial intelligence, tools and technologies such as ChatGPT, DALL-E, etc. Please note that each instructor and course at Morehouse will have different AI policies and standards. It's a student's responsibility to adhere to expectations for each course. Violations of the AI statement will be considered academic misconduct as stated in the college core academic principles. The college's academic policies can be found here, okay? So again, personally, I don't make too big a deal about it. I think it's important to know how to use that stuff, but it's also important that you know how to do as much of this on your own without it as possible. Like do what you can on your own, and then you know on the back end, just ask for some help, and we'll make sure that you get help. Okay. A syllabus is not a contract between instructor and student, but rather a guide to course procedures. The instructor reserves the right to amend the syllabus when complex emergencies or circumstances dictate. Students will be duly notified. Okay, let me see the time. Okay, the time is pretty good. So this last page is just a document saying that you've read the syllabus, you've gone through the syllabus, and you understand what's expected of you out of the course. On that first line, normally you would print your name and then print your name, sign, email, and date. Right now, I don't have a Dropbox set up for you to load this, so you can just kind of keep it on file. And yeah, that's kind of the long and short. So the main thing for right now, the most pressing thing is gaining full access to my math lab. You know, be careful about procrastinating with this stuff because this stuff will pile up fast, and it takes time. It takes time to get through this content. Like, and then idealistically, you want to set aside anywhere from 2 to 3 hours a day for 4 days out of the week. Right. So if you miss like 1 or 2 weeks without working on this stuff, now you're like, you know, positioning yourself for failure. You know, your anxiety can increase, stuff of that nature. Are there any burning questions before we go our separate ways? Going once, going twice. Forever hold your piece of rice. Okay. So if there aren't any burning questions, again, the main thing is just to get access to Pearson. And otherwise, we're going to go ahead and end the session here. And from one beautiful mind to another, have a great weekend, gentlemen. And we'll meet back on Monday, same time, same place to start on section 1.1. All right, guys, take care.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Right. Bye.
Yep.
Is there, sorry for waiting so long to ask the question.
You good?
Is there a certain link I can use to buy the Pearson textbook?
Yeah. So you see it where in Blackboard where it says Pearson, all that stuff in Blackboard? Are you able to see that?
Yes.
From there. So you click on that link, follow the prompts, register as a student, and just eventually you're going to be prompted for payment, and that's the best place to purchase it from.
Got it. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Right. Siri, set a timer for 13 minutes.
13 minutes starting now.
Give me just a moment. I'll be right with you.
Hello?
Yeah, I'll be right with you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, welcome. Did you have a question before we get started?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Looks like I'm the only one in here though.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. We just have to move forward.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there are other people in the class, or there's not?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, they're
Yeah.
just not here.
Yeah. Because it's like the first day, and so people are just kind of finding their way.
Gotcha, cool. But it's expected that I'll be here every day.
All right. So, welcome. Did you have a question before we get started? Oh, why is this? Wow.
I'm the only one.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's strange. Okay. All right. So welcome. This is, of course, it's not working. Hang on. Back up. This one. There it is. So this is College Algebra 1 with Professor Phifer. So I'm Professor Phifer. I go by Mr. Phifer. And my email is my first name dot last name at morehouse.edu. So charles.phifer at morehouse.edu. And I've been trying something new where I have an office cell phone, right? So here's my office cell phone number. So you can use it to just reach me to get my attention. You can text it, you can call it anytime. It's okay. If I'm available, if I can respond quickly, I will. But that's what you would use to get the fastest response. And so what we're going to be doing for attendance, do you have a question?
No.
Okay, yeah. So what we're going to be doing for attendance, inside of Zoom, like in in the toolbar, in the poll section, you should see a poll that says attendance survey, right?
Yeah,
so,
I already took that.
Yeah, so just use it. We're going to use that for attendance.
Okay.
And we're going to go forward. So I'm going to kind of take a moment to do a brief introductions. So again, I'm Mr. Phifer. I'm an alum of Morehouse. I came out of Morehouse with a bachelor's of science in mathematics in 2006. I earned a master's of science in applied mathematics from Florida Institute of Technology. And then that was about the extent. That's as far as I've taken it. So I do go by Mr. Phifer. And then just some interesting things about me. Let me see. So I'm a nature buff. I like, I'm not really a health nut, but I like to be aware of like what's quote unquote healthy. I like, I'm a gaming, not really a gaming buff, but I am a gamer. And so there are three main games that I play, which are Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, Survivor.io, and Mobile Legends Bang Bang. And so you'll see, I tried to add like Naruto X Boruto, but I was like, no, I don't have time for this. But you can find some of periodically I put some of the gaming content on my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel is Beautiful Mind Phifer. If you were just going to do a search for it, and what it really is like it's a catalog of my interactions with students over the years. Right, I use it mostly for logging my interactions, but periodically I'll put like some gaming content on there as well, just to kind of change it up. I guess this is just one of us. So if you could just take a moment to like introduce yourself with like your name, where you're from, your name, where you're from, your major, and something interesting about you.
Okay, I'm Brennan Christian. I'm a freshman business major from Akron, Ohio. And something interesting about me is I'm currently a student pilot, so I'm learning I'm studying for my private pilot's license. I have about 50 hours, and we're working towards that. Also a big outdoorsman. I'm an Eagle Scout, so been camping a lot, love to fish, love to be outside.
Nice. That's where my realm is. So I'm always outside. Like you might find me walking across the city just on a long run. And I'm always discovering things. Every time I think I got the city figured out, I discover stuff when I go on foot.
Right.
So with the pilot's license, you ever come across anything interesting? Like how do you account for the curvature of the earth? Do you like dip down or how does that work? Or you just fly straight?
For how do I account for the curvature of the earth?
Well, like, there's this debate that talk to pilots, like, if you're flying a long distance,
Yeah.
how come the plane doesn't like dip down every so often?
Okay, so I don't know how to answer that. Like as far as dip down, like altitude, like you're flying you're flying along the earth. So like same thing when you're driving a car, you're just going along at the same altitude, and
Mm.
your gravity is, it's like you're on a tether, like to the center, so you're gonna just stay at the same altitude. But as far as like the curve, like magnetic north, and there's corrections that you have to make when you're planning cross country flight. As far as
Have you
magnetic
ever
and true north, have I ever what?
like flown that far, like across country, or like what's the furthest you've ever flown?
Cross country, like in pilot terms, is more than 50 nautical miles away from your home airport.
Got you.
So I have done a few cross countries. So there's there's a lot of requirements that you have to do in order to get your license. You have to have minimum 40 hours, but it takes people a lot more to get all the requirements. You have to have X amount of cross country hours. You have to have X amount of night hours. You have to perform certain maneuvers within certain standards. Like you have to be able to stall the plane and recover it before losing X amount of altitude. So there's a lot of that. And it's been something cool. I've always been interested in planes, and I mean I've had the opportunity to study and learn how to fly. So, I took
That's
advantage of that.
that's awesome. Like I keep having questions. What was another one? Oh yeah, so with this license, what does it allow you? Because obviously it's not a commercial license, like you can't fly
Right.
big,
Exactly.
but it can lead up to that eventually.
Again, okay. So essentially when you just get into aviation, there's a sport pilot's license, which allows you to fly a restricted group of aircraft that's like under a certain amount of horsepower, under a certain amount of weight, whatever. But most people go for their private pilot's license, which is what I'm doing. It allows you to fly single engine piston aircraft that and there are certain specifics of the aircraft that you can fly, but it allows you much more freedom. And then from there, you can add on your instrument rating, which means that you can fly into weather with the appropriate instruments. And basically, there's visual flight rules, and then there's instrument flight rules. So it allows you to fly into IFR, instrument flight rules conditions. So then you're not looking outside of your airplane, you're looking at the gauges and everything and maintaining safe flight that way.
Wow.
So there you can go there, you can and then from there you can get your multi-engine rating. If I want to fly an airplane with two engines, it's much more complicated than flying one with one. And then if I want to fly for pay, I need to understand different things as well. So then there's just a lot of add-ons that you can get to your basic license. If you want to fly float planes, if you want to fly tail wheel aircraft, then you ultimately build it up. And then that's how you would progress to larger airplanes. And then once you get to jets and things, each airplane is going to have its specific rating. So in order to fly a jet, you're going to need to be type rated in that type of airplane.
Wow. Okay. That was I felt comprehensive. I was like, man, I feel like I'm in flight school. That's interesting. But yeah, so just interesting stuff. And there's more. I know we can kind of go deeper in there, but
yeah, for sure.
But yes. Yeah, so this is College Algebra 1 with online lab. So this section of College Algebra 1 is one of the sections that has a lab component.
Okay.
And the lab is going to be run by my colleague, Dr. Lamar. She's going to be she hosts the lab through this platform called Alex.
Yes.
And so you can access it from Blackboard. You can access it from Blackboard. So any questions with the lab, you would contact her.
Right.
Let's actually
What would the lab
hop over to
entail?
Blackboard so we can take a look at that. So on this left-hand panel here. So really, hang on, if I can, there it is. So essentially what the lab is, it's like when you get in there, I think she'll have you take like a placement exam. And what it does is identifies like areas within this topic that you might be deficient in, whether it's like factoring or whatever it is.
Right.
And it'll design a customized curriculum for each student.
Okay.
And it does it based on like how you answer questions. And so she'll give you all of those details. And so the way to reach her is on this left-hand panel where
Okay.
it says online Alex Lab, right there. So yeah, you would just click on that, and her contact info is there, and just contact her and just follow her instructions. So the lab component for this course is going to count for 10% of her overall grade. Right.
Got it.
So whatever you do with her, when it comes for me to submit midterm grade and final grade, whatever she gives for me for each of you guys, I'm going to take it and scale it so that it counts for 10% of our grade. And then whatever we're doing together as far as homework, quizzes, and exams, that's going to count for 90% of the overall grade.
Okay.
So then, like, if you have questions, feel free to either unmute yourself or you can like type. In Zoom, there's a thing that says Q&A. You can use that as well, or type in the chat. I'm just going to mute you and then just unmute yourself as you have questions.
I think it's just me and you in here.
Oh, I know, but I'm just.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
But yeah, just feel free to unmute yourself as needed, or use the Q&A. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I don't know where your brothers are, but I mean, it's we still have to move on. So and they're just gonna have to play catch up, or maybe I had to kind of check and make sure. But I know I made the link available, and I know the stuff is there, so I've been using it all day. But anyway, I'm not gonna worry about that. So yeah, we talked about my office cell phone. Let me kind of mention that again. So, I have my email, and if you have inquiries, I do encourage you to email me. But that's not usually not the fastest response for me. So for a faster response, I would still encourage students to email me just to have the conversation on file or on record. But then for a faster response, use my office cell phone number that you see here. So you can text or call. It's basically like a Google Plus number, and it's just a way for students to call me if they have questions. This course meets on Monday and Wednesdays from 4 to 4:50. And it runs from today until Friday, December 13th. Okay. Let's see. So you made it into the Zoom, so you don't have to worry about that. And so then this one is my office hours for this semester. So I'm like saying a lot because I'm like kind of exhausted. I've been talking since like almost nonstop since like 9 this morning. I had a break in the middle, but I get really foggy. I'm like, man, I just ate something before we met, so I could try to like boost my energy a bit. But yeah, I struggle around this hour, so we have to do the best we can. But yeah, so my office hours are Monday and Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to noon, right here in this same Zoom link. So the same way you got into Zoom now. You can just log in during that time, and I should be online. If I'm not online, just shoot me a text or call, and I'll get online if I'm not already online. And then so we have this here. There are two types of people in this world: those that believe they can, and those that believe they cannot. Both are correct. Which one are you? Henry Ford, right? So I just thought that was interesting. So let's take a moment. I'd like to take a moment and hop over to Blackboard and kind of bring some important links to the forefront. If I can get it, you can do it. There we go. All right. Right here. Okay. So when we log into Blackboard, it's going to look like this. This should be like the landing page, and I'm working on an iPad, so you know, it looks like this. And so when we click on this main link, we get an image like this. All right. So the first link is how to access the Zoom. So it's ready to go. It's there. And then we have these other 3 links below that I think are crucial, right? And so let's work backwards with these links. So if we start with the last link, it's been doing this all day. It's so jumpy. Come on. It's like, it's just doing whatever it wants to do. No. Let me just close this out. I don't know why it does that. Okay, if I open this up. There we go. So if we start with this last link, it's item number 4, YouTube links. So that's one way that you can gain access to my YouTube channel. So if you like click on that link, you're going to see one that says College Algebra 1. You click on it and it'll take you into my YouTube channel. So it is a good idea to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel and and turn on all of your notifications. Because that's pretty much the main way how I communicate with all of my students. So, and 4 of my 6 classes are College Algebra 1. So, you know, most of you guys are working on the same content. So then what happens is, like, when students start asking questions about the homework, I'll load dedicated video responses into my YouTube channel. And then if your notification is on, you'll see the notification like, oh yeah, I had a question about that same question or that same problem. And so that you can watch either the short or whatever video response I create. And then, you know, that way we can try to minimize redundancy as much as possible. So that YouTube link, also in that YouTube link, you'll find full copies of my pre-recorded lectures, right? So I think throughout the entire semester, we're going to be making our way through 11 sections in total. Essentially, it's 1 section a week, right? That's about the rhythm. But you can find full lectures right there on my YouTube channel right now for the whole semester. We're going to, on any given day or any given week, we're going to do what we can together. Whatever we don't finish together, I do expect you to use my pre-recorded lectures. Watch those videos, take notes if you're in class, write down your questions, things of that nature. In an ideal world, this is really designed where you can do most of the learning on your own. I hope this isn't supposed to be asynchronous. I don't think it's asynchronous. But it is designed to where most of the learning can be done on your own. So, you know, you could like use the recordings, get ahead, take notes if you're in class. Anything that's not clear, you write down your questions and reach out to me. And then all the homework and quizzes for the entire semester are available right now, right? And we would access it here in this item number 3 that says all assignments Pearson My Life Master, right? So when you click on that link, you would just basically follow the prompts, register using your Morehouse credentials, and you do have to purchase full access. I think it costs about $120, give or take a couple of bucks or whatever. But you do have to purchase full access. Now, I know that some students are using book vouchers. If you have to use a book voucher, then what you would do is you would purchase a MyMathLab Access Kit from the bookstore, from the Morehouse bookstore. So, you know, but if you don't need to use a book voucher, my recommendation is to purchase access directly from the site. So if you click on this link, when you're registering as a student, at some point you're going to be prompted for payment, and it's best to just purchase it from there. If you are going to buy a hard copy book, make sure it comes with an unused MyMathLab access code, right? So make sure it comes with an unused MyMathLab access code. Okay. Let me kind of open this up and do a showcase on Pearson. Oh, and so these sessions are being recorded and it's live streamed to my YouTube channel. And so I kind of did it a little bit different where this is my 4 o'clock. I had a 2 o'clock, a 3 o'clock, and now I have a 4 o'clock. And so instead of breaking those up into all separate recordings, I'm just letting it be a 3-hour long session. So you can kind of jump around from other courses and you all, and this course or whatever, this time slot. So I kind of did it as one long 3-hour for today. And I think you said you did the attendance survey already. So what are you doing? Starting to click out on me. All right, might have to reboot this. See if I can get this to work. Okay. Yeah, I think my throat's like, okay, that's enough talking for one day. It does not want to talk anymore. And my Mondays are even longer than today. I have another class after this, but it doesn't meet today. I'm gonna have to reboot this right there. Come on, here we go. Okay, that's fine. Let me see if I can get back in here. All right, that's fine.
You said there was a 3 o'clock meeting for this class?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I might switch into that then. Because I'm checking on, I just checked Bannerweb and I looked at the dynamic schedule and it said that 26 out of 27 seats in this class were available. So it makes me think that I'm the only one in this class. And I'm free
that could
at
be the
3.
case.
And I'm free at 3. So I think I just email my advisor and have her switch me into that class.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that could be the case.
Yeah.
But we can at least finish this today, and if you move after the fact, it's okay.
For sure.
Yeah. So let's go to courses, and this course is here. Okay, so for Pearson, and if you get into the 3 o'clock, it's kind of the same procedure, just with that Blackboard access or whatever. So when you log in, we're going to click on item number 3, all assignments. Open. So once you gain full access to Pearson, it's going to look like the following. Right here. So what you see here, all assignments for the entire semester are available right now. All right. So for instance, this week is week 1. That's basically just a link to my YouTube channel. But then next week, we kick off with section 1.1. And basically what we'll do is 1 section a week. And like the rhythm that I tend to do is like on Mondays, we'll do like a live lecture. And it's pretty much the same thing as a recording, but we just do whatever we can do in the 15 minutes that we have. But whatever we don't finish together, I do expect you to use my pre-recorded lectures. And then on Wednesdays, what I like to do is like go through as much of the homework together as we can, right? For that pertaining section. And so the homework and the quizzes for the entire semester are available right now. But the only thing that's not available right now are our exams. For instance, we'll see week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and then it skips week 5 and it goes to week 6, right? So basically what that is that during week 5, that's when we can anticipate exam 1. And it's going to cover the first 3 sections. And then I think it skips over week 9. So in that week, we can anticipate exam 2 over the next 3 sections. And then I think it skips week 13. So that would be exam 3 over the first 3 sections in chapter 2. And then I think the last is the final exam over every beginning to end at the end, right? Let me do a demo. Let me see. Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 8.
A random number between 1 and 8 is 1.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go to 2. I'll do this one here. All right, so I just open up a random assignment and I'll just do this question. I'll just choose a random question. Okay. So this is just a demo of my math lab, right? Say we're working this and we're kind of stuck and we're not really sure what to do. So the following is why I vouch for my math lab, right? These little learning aids at the bottom. So now to help me solve this, I don't really recommend that tool. Some students like it, just try it out and, take it or leave it. But then the view and example is a really powerful tool, right? So what the view and example does, it gives you the same question with different numbers, and it basically explains the entire thing in as much detail as it can, right? So it says 7 parts remaining. I'm just going to click continue about 7 or 8 times just to show the full explanation, right? And so here, what we have is the logic behind this question, right? And I would say like about 90% of the homework questions have this view and example as an option, right? So it's a powerful learning aid. So this is, you're stuck, you have a point of reference, you have an explanation essentially attached to just about every question. Now I don't think they all have that, but a lot of them have that option. So suppose the view and example isn't enough, then we'll click on get more help. Now this question in particular looks like it has a video that's associated with it, or an animation, something that's a little bit more interactive. The textbook, what that'll do is a digital copy of the book. So it'll put you right into the section that corresponds to this question. So for instance, at the top, where we see this question 15, 1.2.38, what that is saying is that this question comes from section 1.2. It's question 38 from the end of section 1.2, right? So if you were to go into the textbook, go to section 1.2 and look at question 38, it should be the exact same question with different numbers as this one. And then the last learning aid that's powerful is the Ask My Instructor. So yeah, it would help if you had like some classmates, because like basically, in the other groups, I encourage the students to like start a group me to collaborate and work together. This is the lab. So with this lab component, I have a 9 o'clock course that's the same, and there's a 3 o'clock course that's the same. My 2 o'clock does not have the lab, but I think you have to have the lab. So, but if you decide that you want to join either the 9 o'clock or the 3 o'clock, I think that will be fine. But if you were in the other groups, I would encourage like the group me, and then you guys can like collaborate and work together. So with the Ask My Instructor, once you've done what you can on your own, you've used these like learning aids and tried to kind of navigate through that. If you ever get some classmates either in this course or another one, and you've done what you can with your classmates, and you've done what you can with the tutors. So I also recommend like try to seek out the tutors early. It's not usually the program is not set up this early, but if you at least know where to find them and like have to gather as much information on the tutoring services as you can as soon as possible, that's going to be better. So once you've done what you can on your own with your classmates, your potential classmates and the tutors, that's the best time to use the Ask My Instructor, right? So you click on the Ask My Instructor, and what it does, it takes a screenshot of your very question, and a window opens up for you to send me an email with that screenshot. And then you say, hey, Mr. Phifer, I got stuck on this one. I could not figure it out. Me and the tutors and things couldn't work it out. Could you walk me through this one? And then I'll make a dedicated video response walking you through it, and post it to my YouTube channel. And so then and I'll reply back with the link, or we can go live if needed. But yeah, so because of those learning aids is why I vouch for Pearson. It's a powerful tool. Again, feel free to either unmute yourself or type in the Q&A if you have questions. Let's see if there's anything else. Go here and here. There we go. All right, so I just want to kind of scan Blackboard again. So we talked about the YouTube links. Again, that's going to have it'll have the recordings for like my sessions from this semester and all of my pre-recorded lectures for each section. So it's two different playlists. We talked about Pearson on that's how we're going to do our homework, quizzes, and exams. Another thing about Pearson. So we have all the homework and quizzes available now. The exams have scheduled release dates, so they're scheduled to release periodically throughout the semester at weeks like 5, 9, 13, and then the final. With our assignments, we get unlimited attempts. The system is set to take our highest score, and there's an automatic extension built into all assignments. All right. So if we hop back over to Pearson, on the left-hand panel, let's get out of this assignments. I'll go back. Here it is. So when we look at our assignments, on the left-hand panel here, we have, you can see the due dates for each assignment. But, you know, all the assignments have an automatic extension built into them. So if we submit an assignment late, there's a 5% late penalty, and the highest we can earn on the late assignment is 95%. Okay. But again, unlimited attempts at all assignments. The system is set to take our highest score, and there's an automatic extension built into all assignments with the 5% late penalty. The hard deadline for all assignments is a Friday, December 13th at the end of the semester, right? So we have all semester to get through this material. Just be careful about procrastinating. Okay. Okay. Let's try to wrap this up. So the prerequisite for this course is a placement exam. I don't think they have the Prep Math 2 anymore. I'm not sure if they still do that or not, but placement exam, will get you here. I think this is kind of where they start most students in conjunction with.
And I can retake the placement exam, right? Because I think I was supposed to do it technically, but I had some things going on that prevented me from doing that. So I'm able. I got an email the other day about retaking.
Yeah, I would say contact.
I think I'm able to do that.
Yeah, I think that you can just reach out to the mathematics department chair, inquire, and then they might let you do. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. For sure.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh, so another thing about my math lab, I think I mentioned this. I'm not sure. Again, my courses are running together, but so the idea behind it, right now to gain access to my math lab, you have to purchase full access. But if you have used my math lab before and it was the exact same book, then you don't have to purchase access again. If you use your same login credentials, you would already have access to it. So with this being College Algebra 1, most of you guys would not have used this before, but many of the professors use my math lab along with this exact same book for 3 different courses. We use this for College Algebra 1, College Algebra 2, and pre-calculus, right? So once you purchase access for one of the courses, you can use them for the other 2. But the progression typically goes College Algebra 1, College Algebra 2, pre-calculus. But yeah, I just wanted you to be aware that you can use it for multiple courses as long as it's the exact same book. You just use your same login credentials, and you shouldn't have to purchase access again. It's like as if you bought a hard copy book, you can still use your same book for the next course. That's the idea. The grading rationale. So the purple is like our part if we didn't have a lab. So basically, like the homework would be 90%. The homework would be 10%. Quizzes would be 10%. The 3 exams would count for 60% of our grade, and the final would count for 20%. So if we didn't have the lab, that's how I would calculate your grade like normal. But with the lab, what I would do is take that score and I would scale it to 90%. So I would say times 0.9. So that I would scale it to 90% of your overall grade. And the other 10% comes from Dr. Lamar, right? So with Dr. Lamar, linking with her and following her instructions, she's going to give me a grade for each of the students. And then I'm going to scale that to 10% of our overall grade here. And then basically 90s are A's, 80s are B's, 70s are C's, so on and so on. Officially passing the course at Morehouse is a C. anything below a C, then many programs will have you like retake the course. Okay. Let me see. We got about right at 10 minutes remaining, and we're almost done. So this is just like the objectives for the semester. You can kind of read through this. Okay, so this is a pretty good summary of what we're going to be going through. It's a total of like 11 sections. Let me see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. There's a total of 11 sections. And essentially the rhythm is one section per week. So this week is like orientation, just, getting in whatever course or retaking placement, and orientation, gaining access to materials, things of that nature. And then next week, we're going to start with section 1.1. On Monday, we'll do a live lecture where we'll do as much as we can together. Whatever we don't finish together, use my recordings. And then on Wednesday, I'll take some time to go through as many homework questions together as we can. And that's pretty much my structure all the way to the end. Mondays are live lectures. Wednesdays, we'll go through as much homework together as we can. Okay. And then every 3 sections is an exam. So we're doing 1-1, 1-2, 1-3. You can anticipate exam 1 at that point. And then we're going to do 1-4, 1-5, 1-6. You can anticipate exam 2 over those 3 sections, so on and so on. So every 3 sections, you can anticipate an exam. Okay. We're just about there. You can ignore that. Okay, so we talked about the homework. Again, all the homework and quizzes for the entire semester are available right now in Pearson, with the exception of the exams. Unlimited attempts, system is set to take your highest score. There's a 5% late penalty and an automatic extension built into everything. 3 exams, automatic extensions, so that's the makeup policy. Here we have important dates. Okay. Labor Day holiday is that Monday, so Morehouse is closed, so we're not going to meet on Monday, September 2nd. Fall break, Morehouse is closed, which is Monday, October 7th, and Tuesday, October 8th. Last day to withdraw is Monday, October 28th. The Thanksgiving holiday runs from Wednesday, November 27th through Friday. I think that Wednesday, Morehouse closes at noon. So, most of my students are not meeting that Wednesday. So basically that Wednesday through that Friday. The last day of class is Wednesday, December 4th. Final exam week is the second week in December, so December 9th through the 13th. That Friday, December 13th, is the hard deadline for all students across the board, because that's basically the end of the week of finals. And then a couple of days later, we're required to submit final grades. Attendance, I think all of my courses are 2-credit courses. So that means we're allowed up to 2 unexcused absences. And then once we hit 3 unexcused absences, then we could be potentially dropped from the course and things of that nature. Then more than likely you won't get a refund, and it's going to be a waste of money. If you need any kind of special accommodations, you can contact SAS at Morehouse. .edu, and they'll discreetly email me a letter of accommodation on your behalf as needed. This is just a statement on equity, inclusion, and belonging at Morehouse. So I'll let you kind of go through that on your own. Also, with the counseling services, like if you're feeling like jittery or feeling weird or anything like that, you have their contact info here. Some things that we can kind of do to kind of mitigate anxiety and control it and manage it. Like do your best to try to make a plan ahead as best you can. Try to start early on things to give yourself as much time. In other words, try to minimize procrastination as much as possible. Eating a certain way is important. Try to eat as clean as you can, things that you just know are not healthy. If you just live off of junk food, you're not going to be surprised if like you're feeling like sluggish and groggy and foggy and all this other stuff, right? So the eating is like number 1, in my opinion. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a nutritional person or anything like that. I'm just saying there's definitely, you definitely want to be careful there, because that will affect your mood and how you feel and your whole experience. Also, what's important is routine exercise. So, like, I think I mentioned I like to go running, maybe on the belt line and stuff like that, or just whatever kind of like physical activity. Just try to work that in there on a day or two throughout the week. So, eating a certain way and some kind of, if you're part of a sports team or something like that, something where you're exercising on a regular basis throughout the week or whatever is important. It helps to manage, keep your nerves clear and things of that nature. So this restricting artificial intelligence, I personally don't make too big a deal about it. I don't really expect you all to be mathematicians or anything like that. Just be careful about not doing anything. Like you don't want to like just completely use like tools to answer every question and you don't learn anything. If you complete everything but you don't learn anything, then you're wasting your time and money. Like, and basically what happens is just because you're not in like a proctoring environment right now where you're not responsible for this in a proctored environment, at some point in the future you will find yourself responsible for this information where all you have is paper, pencil, and a calculator, right? And so if you don't learn anything here, then you would have spent all this time and money, but it's not going to serve you. And it's also not really necessary kind of the way we have it set up. Again, we get unlimited attempts. It's only a 5% late penalty. I do encourage you to collaborate with whoever you can, like if you had classmates or tutors. I'm perfectly fine if you took this content and sat down with the tutor and went line by line. I'm okay with that. Just my request is just try to learn as much as you can from what we're talking about. Try to do as much on your own as you can. And then if you get stuck or whatever, then if you want to collaborate or work together, I'm okay with it at that point. And I really don't make too big a deal about the rest of it. There are some structural changes that we could make to kind of make it a little bit more rigorous, but I don't think it's necessary at this stage. A syllabus is not a contract between instructor and student, but rather a guide to course procedures. The instructor reserves the right to amend the syllabus when conflicts, emergencies, or circumstances dictate. Students will be duly notified. And then this last page is just a document saying that you've gone through the syllabus. You can fill this out and just kind of keep it on file for right now. I haven't set up a Dropbox for you all to submit this. So just keep it on file for now. And I think we talked about the necessary things we need to talk about as far as how to access Pearson. That's the critical thing. I think for you though, first you got to decide which course are you going to say in this course, because if you're the only student in this course, it might not even take. I would encourage you to talk to the mathematics department chair, Dr. Clark. So just kind of like go by the math office and say, hey, I noticed that I was the only student in the course. Just kind of explain everything, and they might put you in another course. But that's something you want to try to do as soon as possible. Maybe if you're on campus, we get off, maybe go to the math office now because a lot of these places tend to close at 5. So hopefully you can catch them before they close. They should still be there. And just kind of explain everything and see if they're able to move you around. And then once you get into whatever course you're going to be in, then you can gain access to Pearson, find my YouTube channel and go ahead and get started on everything. Did you have any questions for me?
No, everything sounds good. I think I'm gonna definitely swing by the math office and try and see if I can either. I really want to take that placement test again, and then I want to also get in a section where there's other people as well. So I'll definitely go get on that.
Yeah.
For
All
sure.
right. Well, yeah. Good luck with everything, and just kind of keep me posted. And I'm sure I'll be notified with this course what more students or if they kind of move you around or whatever.
Right.
Otherwise, the main thing is get in your course, gain access to my math lab, and have a good weekend. And the party's gonna get started next week.
All right, for sure.
Yeah. Take care.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Peace. All right. So hopefully I got this working properly.